I can't believe I'm about to do this, but the Baldur's Gate 3 bear sex scene is unintentionally the best thing they could have done. Let me explain why. Okay, so this scene is a scene where you have romanced a druid human male, okay? Not actually just you romancing a bear. What happens through the scene is he transforms into a bear unintentionally. The player character says, like, no, I like you like that, and then they bone. The sex scene itself is played up mostly for laughs, but Yogi Bear is not just stealing picnics anymore, he's stealing that cake, okay? And there's this part where a squirrel up in a tree. Jokes aside, it is played up for laughs. The bear just like walks over you, and then it cuts to a squirrel in a tree and then drops an acorn. So now that we know and we're all on the same page about what we're talking about, let's explain how it happened, because no one talks about that. Baldur's Gate 3 is a game that is impossible to market. For a movie, you go there, okay? You look at a movie trailer before you go to a movie. Movies are very easy to market, as why they're my example for this. When you watch a trailer, it's a bunch of key moments spliced together, you know what's going to happen, you go in, you see the key moments, you're like, oh my god, that's from the trailer! And then you're happy because the neurons have been moisturized and fucking jiggled. But a video game is not that easy to market. With a lot of games, what they do is they'll do the trailer thing where they'll show off key moments and they'll be like, huh, come play this. But Baldur's Gate 3 isn't like that. It's an RPG, and it actually plays into player agency. For example, you can choose to kill every one of your companions, and the game doesn't fail you for it. You just won't know what their stories were. If you decide that Shadowheart is an annoying piece of shit who's way too obsessed with Cube, you can kill her and steal it. You don't have to adventure with any of those people. It's lovely. Matter of fact, the character who wild shapes into a bear, I unintentionally killed the first time I saw. I threw a sharp rock at him, triggered initiative, and halfway through combat I realized that the bear was doing magic, and that bears don't do that. And then I killed him. And I killed all of his people. Because goblins are fun to be around. They're very throwable. But the idea that you can just chop storylines willy-nilly, and if you don't want to do something, you don't have to, is why the game is so difficult to market. It's why they're doing the panels from hell, and it's why they did the cute little, like, animation. It's also why they're doing YouTube shorts, where they take a meme that no one really likes, and then they just put Baldur's Gate 3 footage over it. And it's amazing. I love it so much. Everyone in the comments is like screaming in agony at the cringe. You have to go there. Please check it out while they're still doing it. I want them to make more. I want them to make so many more. I want the game to be delayed like an extra week so they can just make more shorts. I like Monopoly too. There's something wrong with me. But it goes to show that they have no idea how to market their game. And that's where the bear scene comes in. A scene that was caused by Twitch chat having too much control. And while the scene is objectively just weird, like, let's all get behind that. It's just weird. Even I, an insane idiot, can follow that train of logic. It was good marketing. It allowed their game to go from something that people who already bought it and were playing it and, like, were excited for, to something that hit newspapers and that people talked about. I think Moist Critical made a video calling it one of the weirdest moments in gaming history. And yes, it is, but it also goes to show that they respect player choices, even if those choices are wrong, and if a weird sex scene that most people aren't going to see, unless they're doing it for the meme, is what it takes to market this amazing game, that's absolutely worth it to me. Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the few games I've actually been excited for, because of their sheer passion for it. This game needs all the marketing it can, and it needs people to play it because, one, it's a huge game and it took a lot of work to make, and two, there just aren't many game development studios that actually put this much time and care into their game. One of the news articles I read was a group of game developers who were being interviewed and trying to say that this didn't raise standards at all. Keep your standards low so that we can keep feeding you garbage. But no, in seriousness, their reasoning was that Baldur's Gate 3 had three very key things going for it. One, it had a lot of time. Two, a lot of money. And three, had a lot of community, support. A lot of people told them about the bugs and gave them better ideas. Matter of fact, the dice rolling system in Baldur's Gate 3, that whole HUD layout came from the community. That was something that the community presented, and it was like, hey, this is a better way of doing it. And Lorien was like, yes, that is. We're going to put it in the game because it's a better idea. Why wouldn't we? You should bounce your ideas off of other people. That's an essential part of making anything. I feel like games have gotten to the point where, especially RPG games that require the development studio to be willing to rethink their decisions and give the player more options and let the player stop themselves from doing things. Let the player just ignore the main quest to some extent. I feel like those games are the most beautiful, and they're dying out. When I go to Steam Marketplace and I look at RPG games, Baldur's Gate 3, because of this one scene that accidentally happened, it has skyrocketed up to one of the best sellers. So many more people have been exposed to this amazing game because of one cringy scene. Because while that scene is weird and cringy and kind of funny, it shows that they're just giving people an abundance of choices, and that's beautiful. I'm so happy that this game is amazing and selling good. Because when I look at other RPGs, I love role-playing games. D&D is one of my favorite things to do with other people. All of these games in the RPG section of Steam, they're like, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is in the top 15, and that is a game that doesn't have assassins in it. They decided assassins were too difficult for their assassin game. I'm sorry I shook you. But I hope you see my point. There's just not many game developers who are willing to do insane and crazy things. One of my favorite eras of gaming is from the early 2000s to about 2008, where new engines are being made and people were wildly experimenting with things and willing to do all types of shit. Even horrific shit. Soldier of Fortune 2 is a game that just lets you tear people's faces off. That game has full dismemberment. It's something that dropped out of fashion because it wasn't marketable. But it goes to show that people are just less willing to experiment. And that's sad. I miss games that let you be and do absolutely insane things. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, there's a class where your character knows the script and also speaks in riddles. In that game, if you choose that bloodline, it is difficult to decipher your own speech. And most of the time, it's a vague hint at what's about to happen to the player. I love games like that. I love games that are willing to just let you do interesting things and experiment. And give you choices. And Baldur's Gate 3 as a whole is a return to form for old school RPG games. And that's why I'm so excited for it. If it takes a cringy sex scene to get more people playing an amazing video game, I'm all for it. They care about their game so much that the CEO of Lorien plays through it routinely. He's done multiple playthroughs. The fucking CEO of the people making it plays the game. Why is that so shocking, and why does that not happen more? Like, oh my god, that's amazing. I love that so much. That's adorable. And if it takes a cringy sex scene to get Baldur's Gate 3 the recognition that it deserves, and to get more people interested in such an amazing game, I'm absolutely here for it. I'm here for more people hearing about fun stuff. I'm sick of going to Reddit and being recommended, like, yes, did you hear of Witcher 3? I know, an underground classic. But jokes aside, I'm just excited the game is getting recognition. I don't feel like enough games outside of indie are really treated like the art form that they can be, and the stories that they can tell. And I love to see it happen. Anyway, that's my explanation for why Twitch chat accidentally boning a bear live on camera was the best thing that could have happened. I might do more videos where I talk about something and I have an absolutely insane take. Maybe I won't. If you like this, drop a like. If you subscribe, I will break into your house and make you a sandwich, but it has to have sardines and peanut butter, because fuck you. I hope you have a good day. See ya.